My name is Peter John Lindbergh. I'm a writer with Travel and Leisure magazine, and recently I went to Phu Quoc, Vietnam to write about the development that's underway there. This is basically the story about a tiny sleepy island that is soon to be transformed into one of Asia's bigger beach resorts, if all goes according to plan. Whether that happens or not is still up in the air, but before all this development really happens, it is an amazing place to be, and Phu Quoc is really one of the prettiest and sleepiest islands in all of Southeast Asia right now. There really isn't much to see in the sense of traditional tourist sites, and in fact much of the island is extremely rural and rustic, and as you can see, the roads are this kind of Martian red laterite clay where we actually spotted many little kids on their bicycles going back and forth to school in these wonderful little outfits. This shot is a beach called Bai Sao, which means Star Beach. That's on the southeast corner of the island, and rather hard to get to, actually, because all the roads on Phu Quoc are bumpy little potholed trails. And about a half a mile off the main road is an even bumpier little trail that culminates in this little half-mile crescent of sand, and it is absolutely stunning. One of the best beaches that my wife and I had ever seen. It's really the quiet that's remarkable about it, because there's literally no one on this beach. For now, it is the iconic tropical beach. What's happening now in Phu Quoc is that many resort companies are coming in and building up higher-end resorts, including this one, which is La Veranda. You know, it's by far the nicest and most comfortable resort on the island right now, and it's no doubt the first of many in Phu Quoc. The palm tree. There are a bunch of places like this along the sand on this little mile-long stretch of Long Beach, but the palm tree is probably the most famous and the favorite of all, and one of my favorite places anywhere, for that matter. This really is, to me, the dream of Phu Quoc right now, and everyone ends up there at night, both the backpackers and the people from La Veranda, the resort goers. It's a dreamy little place, and who knows what will happen to it. I hope that they don't replace it with some crazy big water slide or something. These are a big favorite of ours as well. They look like they'd be just giant baskets, maybe for storing fish or something. They're about 6 feet in diameter. And they were sitting in front of our resort on the beach for several days, and we kind of wondered what they were for until we saw these two little kids get in and push it down into the surf and take out a little paddle that they'd fashioned out of a stick and paddle out to their boat. We were just shocked that this thing could actually be seaworthy, and we actually wanted to take one home, but couldn't figure out a good bargaining price. Food on Phu Quoc is absolutely fantastic. Part of this is because of the ingredients. It's actually been famous for years as the home of Vietnam's best fish sauce, Nuoc Mam, sort of the champagne of Vietnamese fish sauce. Here we're looking at a bowl of pho, P-H-O, which is beef noodle soup, basically, flavored with a whole lot of great spices, and then, of course, doused liberally with fish sauce. Another thing that Phu Quoc is famous for besides the fish sauce is their peppercorns. They almost taste more like coriander than straight black pepper that we're used to. Here they're drying the peppercorns on mats in the sun where they turn actually a whole rainbow of colors. And we had a couple of these right off the tree and literally set our tongues on fire. I mean, our ears went numb and our throats began to itch until this guy came along and brought us a fresh persimmon to quench the fire. You know, he plucked it right off the tree, and he just sort of handed it to us and sort of smirked in a knowing way, realizing that we had been eating his peppercorns. The market is the one part of Phu Quoc where there's any real activity or commotion. If you go into the main town, Yungdong town, right along the river, there's this daily morning market, and it just seems like the entire population of the island descends on this thing every morning with their motorcycles and their bicycles and their carts, and we spent a blissful couple mornings there just sort of soaking up the chaos and the commotion. It was really a lovely place to be and really belied the whole image of Phu Quoc as a sleepy place. This really is a living community. It's not just some empty wasteland where developers are going to come in and create life where there isn't any. It is very much an island of fishermen and farmers. That's pretty much what it was for all of its existence. And one of the prettiest sights on Phu Quoc is actually going to any of the harbors along the coast. And the fishermen just sort of let you stroll around, even welcome you on and maybe give you a squid to take home or a couple of fresh prawns. And there's not a single tourist boat in sight. It's just entirely a working harbor. One wonders how long that's going to last.